All right. I think we are live. Let's see here. Hi, everybody. Happy Thursday today. We are going live today with a good friend and a buddy, Mr. Evan Carmichael. I think he's here. Oh, he's going to join. Here we go. Let's see if he comes on. Waiting to join. All right. This is exciting. This is our third Instagram live, and I'm really excited about it. So,
is it
Evan
happening? I
on
can't see you.
the Game Your Brain podcast.
He's
This is going to
spinning.
be
He's
recorded for the
spinning.
Game Your
Can you
Brain
guys see him?
podcast today.
Can you guys
and,
see me? Or can you see Scott? Can you
we
hear
have
me?
a lot of cool things that we're going to talk about.
Give me something in the chat if you can hear
So
me.
let's see if we can get him on.
Is it my end or is it Scott's end? I see a spinning circle for Scott. Can you see me though? I don't know what happened. I saw him at the beginning. Let's see.
Okay.
I see people have joined. I see Ivy joined.
It says it's connecting.
Leah DS, welcome aboard. Both are fine. Oh, I can't.
Okay. Let's see. Evan, are you coming on? Excuse us. Oh, here we go. All right. There we go. Let's see if we can do it this time. There we
we
go.
go.
We did it.
Wait, could you see me or no?
I could not see you. It was the weirdest thing.
I couldn't see you. You couldn't see me, but the chat said they could see both of us. Anyway, it's
Oh,
fine.
all right. Well, my apologies. Hey, Evan.
How you doing, man?
I'm doing awesome. Good to see you.
Yeah, happy Thursday.
Yeah, life is beautiful. Being very thankful over the next week. Actually, you're in Canada. You guys already had your thankful.
Yeah, we do. We couldn't wait. We couldn't wait to be thankful. But hey, we'll do it again. Why not?
Yeah, absolutely, man. Well, it's a crazy time of year, but it's a great time to be thankful. So it's we got a lot to go over today. This is gonna be fun.
Yeah, I'm ready, man. Let's go.
So for people listening, we've got a lot of people from Get Happy, HAPBEE, our biotech company, and then Evan, you've got a bunch of people coming from your side as well that are going to be listening in, which is exciting. And we're going to have a great little conversation for the next few minutes. I got a bunch of questions for you. You're one of the most interesting men in the world. And
wow. Wow. Okay. Well, that's an intro.
Your reputation precedes you. Here, let me tell people what we're doing here. So Evan is he believes in entrepreneurs, right? Your mission is that you want to help people believe more in themselves. That's one of my favorite things about you. So we're going to talk a ton about mindset today. But that is his heart-driven mission. He's a rock star. At age 19, he built and sold his first biotech company. Age 22, he started his first VC company, going from 500 to 15 million. He's got a YouTube channel with over 2 million subscribers and over 300 million views. That's old. You've got more than 300 now. It's like up to 350 or plus. I don't know what the latest is.
We're almost at 400. I don't know exactly what. We're going to cross soon 400.
Awesome, man. Well, he's also got 4 books. We're going to post them all in our chat when we post on the Game Your Brain podcast for everybody, as well as he's a world-class speaker all over the place. And I've been able to become friends with him over the last few weeks, and he's teaching me all about YouTube. So it's been an incredible journey, and we've actually quadrupled our following just by.
There we go. Look at that. I love it, dude. That's great.
If anybody wants to know who's the guru in YouTubing, go to Evan's page, follow him, start his programs today. It really does help. So anyway, this is Evan Carmichael. Welcome to the IG Live Game Your Brain podcast.
I love it. Good to be here, man.
Awesome. Okay, so we got a lot of stuff to go over, but the first thing I want to know is, why do you have Doritos in front of you at all times?
So there's the bag, and you know, I got my YouTube awards, and then I got this. This is a big bag of Doritos. So this is it's not just like some small thing on the side, right?
Yep.
So people ask me, does Doritos sponsor your content? And like, no, Doritos would never sponsor me because my strategy is called Damn the Doritos. And so talking about, mindset and brain hacks, when you're on a diet, I think the first thing that people say is, well, get rid of all the junk food from your house, right? Just don't be tempted, get rid of it from your house. And I think that's a great first step. Like if you break your leg, you should have a cast and have crutches. But ultimately, I think your goal is to walk again and to run again. And so what happens is people, if you get rid of all the junk food from your house, what happens when you go on vacation? What happens when you go to an office party, when we're allowed to do those again? You just slam down everything because you haven't taught yourself to be in that environment. And so I like being around. My mouth is watering, even though it's noon. I want to eat that right now. My mouth is watering just thinking about it. Because I want to teach myself that idea. Yeah, it's legit. I'm going to start drooling on the show here. I want to eat that bag all day long, and I want it in front of me to show myself that I'm stronger than the Doritos, because damn the Doritos.
Yeah, well said.
And so there was a guy who came to my workshop in Toronto, and he brought a bag of Doritos, and he opened it, and he said, hey, do you want some? And I took the bag, brought it up right to my face, just took a deep breath in to just feel the cheesy goodness, and I might have drooled in his bag a little bit, maybe, and then I gave it back to him. And just that idea of that you're in control, and that takes again, if you break your leg, go on crutches, it's okay. If you can start building up that discipline, though, I think that's how you actually start feeling great about yourself, is teaching yourself that you do difficult things. So that's just a daily reminder that, damn the Doritos, I'm in control. I'm stronger than those Doritos.
I love it.
Yeah.
You just reminded me, one of our family values is we do hard things, right?
Yeah.
Our family can overcome hard things. We have young kids, and we always make things better. We always do the right thing, and we overcome hard things. And having that mindset as a family sets us up for actually, having a fun things that we can overcome, right? Our kids are learning to do difficult stuff all the time at school and at home and with their friends. And instead of just giving up or giving in or removing it from your life, you learn to go right through it and overcome it head on. So that's cool. I love that idea.
People have taken that version and done their own thing with it. There's a guy, a friend of mine, who wanted to stop having sugar, but his weakness was sugar in his coffee, like morning sugar, coffee needs to happen. So he put his coffee, and it has a little saucer, cup underneath it, and he put 2 sugar packs on the saucer, and then just drank the coffee with just some cream in it, and put it down. And the sugar his wife thought he was nuts, but that's how you start building your self-confidence.
Yeah.
Right. What does it matter about Doritos or sugar or anything else? All of those opportunities are chances for you to show yourself what you're made of and who you are. So I love that you have that with your kids, because if they keep reminding themselves that they do difficult things, that there's it's raining, and so now I can't go do this, or I got an F on a test and now I'm an idiot, or whatever. All these obstacles that get thrown in our way to teach them that they can overcome anything. I think it's one of the greatest skills that you can ever gift yourself as well as to other humans.
Yeah, man, that's so awesome. I mean, obviously we have Happy, right? Which is what you're on right now. We're talking about biotech and, choosing how you feel. But the passion project that I have is to help kids learn business, right? As young kids, myfirstsale.com. And that is the whole point of that, is to give kids their first huge confidence boost. Right? They get their own store page. It's like Kid Etsy. They learn how to launch a business. They create a product, and then they actually go do it. Right? And everybody buys from kids. They fall in love with it. These kids are making like $500-$600 on their launch day, by the way. It's like a Jeff Walker style launch day. Okay.
Wow.
But in one day, these kids get so much confidence for the future. I mean, it's hard to start a business. Trust me, you and I have been doing it for a long time. It's not easy, but if you can give kids that first step, that confidence boost, that, the future is going to be great. You're going to be okay. The tomorrow has more opportunity than yesterday, right? This mindset of abundance. I think that really changes a kid's mind as they develop to have more confidence, because success breeds success, right? So anyway, I love that thinking, man, overcoming one thing at a time. So I got a question for you.
Okay.
So you've talked to some of the most rock star entrepreneurs, amazing people around the world. You've interviewed some of the best doctors, scientists, entrepreneurs, thinkers, authors, speakers worldwide. What comes to mind every time you interview these people? You feel like there's like a through line. What's the through line thread that comes to you when you talk to these people? You're like, wow, that is something that I feel like I hear over and over and over with the world's best. What is that comes to mind?
I'd say belief, which is directly tied to what you're talking about. Like that project with the kids is you're trying to give them more belief so that when they have an idea to start a business when they're 14 or 18 or 22 or whatever, they have a little more belief in themselves. It's the belief in yourself when other people don't. When other people think you're crazy, for you to launch Happy, it's like, it's crazy. What, you're going to wear this thing around your neck and it's going to make you feel good? Come on, Scott, like, let's get real. Right?
Yep.
But like, no, well, but that's the thing. Like, no, but now you've done it. Now you've proven it. Now you have the scientific data and you've done it, right? But in the early stages of it, when you talk about this idea and people think you're nuts, to then say, well, I'm gonna at least try and I'm gonna see if this is possible, right? And that's the same thing whether it's athletes or entrepreneurs or inventors or scientists. It's just the belief that they can make something or create something that's never been created before when everybody around them judges them and thinks they're crazy.
Yeah, I hear you, man. There's so many dark nights. I feel like if you're on your hero's journey, I mean, I'm just thinking about Happy, right?
Yeah.
When we started this thing, a couple years ago, it was crazy. It was absolutely insane that you can feel the effects of coffee. You can feel the effects of a sleep aid or a muscle relaxant or a couple happy hour drinks with a click of a button, and it gives you the sensation. That idea was insane. And I knew the science. I've known it for 10 years. But Evan, I brought in 4 of my closest buddies. And I just said, guys, I'm nervous. This sounds insane. Licensing this tech. Can you beat this up? Right? So like PhDs, molecular biologist, a chemist, quantum physics, all PhD doctors and scientists. And these are my friends. And they just beat this thing up, this tech up for a month and a week, about 5 weeks. And 3 of the 5 were like, there's something here. We have no idea exactly, but there's definitely something going on. One guy was like, this is the craziest, stupidest, you should never do this, run away, there's no way this is possible. And then one guy's like, he was the pragmatic one. He goes, what's it going to cost you to get to the next level to see? I was like, 300 grand. And he goes, is it worth your dream for that? And I went, yeah, it is. And I don't have 300 grand laying around. But my dream was big enough that I just did it. And we got the signals, we tested it out, we did the animal testing, we brought it into the humans. I was the first one to try the muscle relaxant, knocked me out on the floor. I'm like, feeling like I'm sinking through the floor. It was crazy. And then my grandma was one of the first people to do it as well because she struggles with a lot of tension and soreness. And it completely changed her mood, her body. She was jumping around, she's giving me hugs. That night she slept 11 hours. And I was hooked. I was like, that's it. And I'm in. But like, there were so many dark nights and so many times where it's like, am I doing something insane? Am I going to like look like a fool? Right? Am I going to lose everything I've got? And can I do it? Right? Those are like the things that swirl in entrepreneurs' minds like all the time. And, I got to imagine these amazing people that you've been interviewing, they say everyone has dark nights, man. You've had them. I've had them. What do you do in those times? What do you do when it's like, gosh, man, are you sure? Like a panic attack's coming.
Yeah, 2 things. And I remember I was speaking on Brendan Burchard's stage last year, and he flew me in, and it was only me and Eric Thomas were the 2 guest speakers, and a couple thousand people in the audience. And in my head, it's like, I'm here, and if I don't deliver, I let everybody down. My biggest fear is disappointing people. No, that's not true. Like, I'm only speaking for an hour of a 4-day thing. Like, I could totally bomb and everybody would still be happy. But in my head, it's like, no, this is the big thing, and it's not a logical thing. It's a emotional one. So I'm backstage. We're about to get pulled in. you know, 10 minutes before you go on, nobody talks to the speaker who's about to go on. He says, like, leave him be by himself, let him do his own thing. So now I'm totally isolated. Everybody's hyping up, you know, in the audience, like, get ready to bring on. And it's just a long intro, like, oh my God, bring me on already. And I have a panic attack and I blank out of, I don't know what I'm going to say when I get on stage. And I don't have slides. There's no like presentation that's going to save me from my PowerPoint. There's one slide that's like my face, and that's it. And I just imagine now that I'm going to go out there and just, what am I going to do for an hour? It'd just be a total embarrassment.
What if I bomb? Yeah, man.
Yeah, but like at least normally how I prepare is I know how I'm going to intro it, and then once I get my first 2 minutes out, then I'm good. But I forgot how I was going to lead. Like my usual thing that saves me, I just blanked out. So the two things that help me are, one, Evan Carmichael does difficult things. It's just the reinforce. Here's another chance to go in. Now this is a big deal. This isn't just Doritos bag, you know, in front of. This is, you know, embarrassment in front of thousands of people. But Evan Carmichael does difficult things. One, and then the other thing that helps me is the default to service. That's why I call my book "Built to Serve." I am here to serve. I am here to help people. And what helps is I look at the audience and I see people. It's like, I can help that person. I've got a message that Brendan doesn't know and Eric doesn't know, that I can help these people. And it's my obligation to go off and do it. And that it's not about me. This isn't about me. Like, Happy isn't just about Scott. It's about helping people.
Yep.
And so whenever I get out of my own way and just think it's about serving people, it's about helping people, I don't know, it just frees the path. It calms me down. It makes it okay to not be perfect, and allows me to get on stage or do whatever the next thing is that I need to go off and do. So that, like, I do difficult things, and then service. You're here to help and serve. And when we're caught up, we forget that we're serving. We forget the mission.
Yeah.
As much as you say, hey, I want to help every kid learn how to start a business because the education system is messed up, right? Great. But when you're stuck in a negotiation or a meeting or something is falling apart, it's hard to remember
the
mission
serve.
Again.
Yeah.
I'm here to help.
Yeah.
And at least for me, it just brings me back to a place where I can then go forward again instead of being paralyzed by anxiety.
That's so good, man. It's not about, it also kind of removes you from the center, like the focus of it. It's not about you, it's about the service. And so you can almost like take a step back and be able to help. I feel like if I'm just helping someone, there's no stress in that. There's no fear in that. There's no anxiety in that. I'm here to serve. I'm here to help. That's actually, for me, it's actually a calming feeling, a peaceful feeling. It's a happy feeling, right? And so, yeah.
I just think I think of the word selfish as like, it's selfish not to share. You have a gift. You have something that can help them. It's selfish for you to play small and to back down and to not get on that stage or to not release that product or to not go raise the 300K and to not, because we think often, well, it's selfish to do this. This is my dream. This is my selfish ambition to go off and do this.
Yeah.
Who am I? But it's actually selfish not to share your gift, because the number of people that you've helped who would never have, your grandmother doesn't know how to make the tech and now she finally can sleep well, right? Like, what if you didn't make it because you were afraid of what your friend might say because he thinks it's a stupid idea, right? Like, but this is it. So it's selfish not to share, because and that's for everybody. Everybody's got some kind of gift. I couldn't make what Scott makes. I do something else. But you know, it's selfish not to share your gift because it can really impact and inspire a lot of people.
Yeah, man, that's so good. And for anybody listening about this, is I think the why, I know Simon Sinek talks about this, the why being so much more important than the what or even the how. That why gets you through, that belief in what you're doing is the right thing and it's important and it's crucial to share it with others and help others with it. I've seen personally, more than money, more than accomplishment, more than, you know, accolades or looking good, like the passion and the reason why I want to do something it gets me through every single time. Because it gets crazy. I mean, all of life is crazy. It doesn't matter what you're doing. It can be hard with your family. It can be hard with your health. It can be hard with your business and your work. Everybody has those difficult times. And the why gets you through so much more than any of the what or the how. And so I was thinking about this when you were talking back in February. We've talked about this. we launched this tech to the world secretly. Like, we did an Indiegogo campaign with Happy, choose how you feel. And we accidentally sold like 50 times more than we were planning because Dave Asprey shared it because he tried the tech. You know, Jim Quick shares a few, like Joe Polish. Everybody shares this to the world, and we were only going to sell like 15 or 20 grand worth just to test marketing, and we sold like $500,000 worth in like a couple of days, and we hadn't finished our blinded studies yet, right? We were still 2 months away from the scientific studies that were being finished up on testing. You know, people could tell 100% of the time if it was working or not in a sham blinded study. Like, that's what we needed to like make sure that everyone understood the science behind this. And, you know, everyone wants to make sure it's placebo controlled, right? And then the trolls just came out of like left field. Like, this guy posts a video, gets crazy views. Everyone's like, this is crazy. There's no way this tech is possible. They didn't know the tech, right? They didn't know the science behind it, right? How we were charging cell membranes and changing, you know, protein receptors and shapes of these things with a actual precise frequency to make you feel a certain way. They're like, this is snake oil. It's all placebo. It's all terrible. You guys are liars. How do you sleep at night? We got our website like spammed by like 2 million Russian troll bots. Like, it was just out of nowhere, man. And we're just sitting here like blindsided. I mean, we knew that there would be skepticism, but we didn't know it would come like the day after we launched. And so it was so many dark nights of like, oh my gosh, how are we going to like explain this to the world? How are we going to like create the videos and create the messaging to show everyone that, no, this actually works. None of these trolls have ever tried it. None of these people have seen the science. And so they're just, people like to sit back and they like to lob bombs from the bleacher seats at anybody who's in the arena doing stuff. And so, man, this is encouraging to me. Are you when you interview all these other people that you've talked to, what sort of things come up in terms of like how they got to where they got, right? Do you see in your own life or in the lives of the people that you're talking to every day, or the videos that you guys make? By the way, everybody's got to go to Evan Carmichael and follow his YouTube right now. Every time I watch your videos, I'm like fired up, dude. I'm like going to go like take on the world. But when you talk to these people or you study these people or your team edits these videos, what are you seeing like as these people grow into who they become, right? What are some of the things that you're realizing in their lives?
It's just a willingness to not be crushed by those things. Like, that would have crushed a lot of people. That would have crushed a lot of businesses. They wouldn't know how to handle it. They wouldn't, especially somebody who's so heart driven. Is like, I want to do this to make a positive impact in the world. And then you got all these people accusing me of just ripping people off, which is the exact opposite of what you're trying to create. It's just a lot of people give up. A lot of people are like, I can't handle this. I can't handle this pressure. I did this for a good reason. It's getting misunderstood. Sure, maybe I made some mistakes. Maybe I went too soon, whatever. But still, that's always going to happen. And people who achieve success, they feel it, right? Like, it doesn't feel good to be called a snake oil salesman or whatever, right?
No,
it's
dude.
Like, it's not like, nothing, and it just bounces off. Like, you feel it. You feel like a total failure. You feel like it's worthless. You feel like nobody understands. You feel like nothing's happening and working out. And then it's like, it's still back to the first message. Okay, we do hard things.
We do hard things.
I'm doing this to serve. I'm doing this to help. I'm gonna get up and, maybe I go home and cry and struggle and suffer a bit. And I'm gonna get up tomorrow, and then we're gonna keep going and keep doing this because this is important.
You only fail if you quit. Yeah, that's good. That's really good. I remember seeing something with Elon where he said in the interview that he fully expected the first 2 or 3 rocket launches to bomb and like crash. Like, he literally said, we were pretty sure the first $60 million rocket was going to explode. Like, that was his bet. And the second one. So to have this thinking that's like, no, my will can get through this. Like, we can push through. I'm doing this for the right reason. That's the mindset, I think, of world-class leaders. And that's awesome. That's awesome, man. And by the way, talking about world-class, you were named Forbes, right? Top 40 social marketing talents by Forbes
Yeah.
magazine in the world. Yeah. So I'm talking to a world leader in this. Was there a time in your life where you were like, man, I don't know if I can do this, and that what you're prescribing to the world right now, you had to do? What was that for you?
Yeah, I mean, I know we're hitting up against the clock, but
Right.
always, dude. Like even now, I mean, I think lack of belief is the world's biggest problem. Single biggest problem. Say that 3 times fast. And I believe in myself to get to where I'm at, but I don't believe in myself to get to the next step. Like it's an ongoing thing of not feeling good enough for the next thing. So to get in front, like I wouldn't have done this 10 years ago. If you would message me and say, hey, let's do, if IG Live existed, like, oh my God, what questions you're going to ask me, Scott? Like, I'm not good enough. I don't know what I'm going to talk. No, I would just by default play small. Now it's inside the comfort zone, but the next thing isn't. And so it's the constant, there's a quote that I love that's beyond the mountains is more mountains. Your goal isn't to get to the top of the mountain. Your goal is to climb forever. So whatever you've climbed, you know that you've done that. You can do that again, but the next mountain is right there. And I want to keep climbing and keep climbing forever. And so it's always the lack of belief and not feeling good enough and running scared and then just doing it.
Yeah.
Because we do hard things. That's the theme of this show. We should call it the We Do Hard Things episode.
Absolutely.
Scott and Evan.
That's right. I love it, man. So this,
Cool,
and
man.
I love your wall, by the way. You know, I'm not at my home office right now, and I have my own culture wall. But real quick, show us your wall. What are the pictures behind you and why?
Steve Jobs. Oh, hold on. There we go. Steve Jobs, put a dent in the universe. A.P. Giannini, favorite entrepreneur of all time, started Bank of America, gave money based off a handshake and a look in their eye.
Yep.
My parents and me, when I'm 8 or 9 years old, I'm Evan Castrilli Carmichael to do anything that I believe that I can. Howard Schultz, who stood up for employee rights at Starbucks, and then Kanye West, which is the time is now to be the greatest you, and then Doritos, of course.
And Doritos. That's right. I am better than the Doritos. There you go. I love it, man. Well, that's perfect. I know our time's done, and by the way, I'm going to get you a happy. Shayna, my EA, is sending you one right now, man. Yeah, just as a thank you, but also I know it's going to help you a bunch with productivity and energy and better sleep and everything that can help us rock stars keep going. So, man, this was awesome. Really appreciate you, and be well, my friend.
Thanks for having me, Scott. Appreciate you, man.
Thanks, everybody, for listening to Game Your Brain and for Happy. And last thing before we go, we're going to create a happy.com/Evan for your listeners. So if anybody wants, so it's HAPBEE.com/Evan, EVAN, and then they'll get $50 off a Happy too, just as a thank you for your crew.
Thanks, man.
All right. Thanks, everybody. Have an awesome day. Cheers.